Well, it seems it's that time to change my AC pulley. It's making a bit of noise, so let's go check it out.
Writing in the margins of my mind all day, sipping herbal in the morning just to feel okay. Had a dream I was water just flowing through space, till I landed on the record that my grandma would play. Talk sweet like jazz in the park after rain. What the grass smell green and the air feels sane. Put the phone on mute, let the silence explain. I don't need much, just a book in the brain. Used to chase things that were run from me. Now I sit still, let the peace come free. Paint a verse in the sky with a loose.
Alright guys, so once you get that cover off, what you'll be able to do is access the bolts that release the tension from the alternator belt. First you gotta undo this horizontal bolt, just a smidgen, then you can do the top one, and once you release that top one quite a bit, you push the alternator down, and that will allow you to take the belt off with ease.
I've been good, I've been gone, I've been lost in the loops. Got a hoodie and some headphones, walking with truths. Ain't no answers in the feed, just noise and flex. But I found God once in a vinyl set. Talk slow when I speak.
Alright, great. So now we've got that belt off. The next what you would do is release the tension from the other belt, the AC pulley. But I've already done that because I took it off about a week prior to making this video. You don't need this belt on. It's not a crucial belt, although you won't have any AC. But for the time being, I took it off just to avoid any sort of catastrophe while my AC pulley was off. The way I found out which pulley was bad was I went around and I did a bit of a jiggle test on each pulley. I rotated them, and I found that was the AC pulley that was a bit sort of, how would I describe? Crumbly, spun freely. You know, you could just feel that it was bad. Like the bearing was just shot. This is the pulley's bracket. What we're gonna do is replace this spacer at the bottom there. Just because the kit I bought, it came with one, so might as well replace it, you know, refresh the whole unit. So you've got to undo these bolts, but this was super tight on there, and I was trying to do it with this little ratchet. So I decided, all right, I'm gonna get this breaker bar, attach it, and it came off so easily. And so basically you just need to unscrew all of that, pull this bolt off. So we got it off. I just compare the old one with the new one. So, yep, right size. Let's go ahead and put this one on. Okay, so you should have something like that. Now, when I was putting this on, I was rotating the bolt the wrong way, and I was wondering why this isn't screwing into there. So, it's opposite of what you would think normally. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. But for this one, it's lefty-tighty, righty-loosey in terms of getting this onto the bolt. So I'm going to finish screwing this one up, putting it into place, and then we'll go ahead and install it. Alright, so I might have stuffed up a bit. I thought it went in this way, but actually it goes in that way. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to flip that, because it should go right behind there, but as you can see, got a bit of an issue there. So I'm going to flip this around, put it back, and then we'll go. Here we are. We've got it on the right side now, and basically you just take this piece here, that piece there, you put it through just like that. Don't forget that it's not magnetic. So that's in there. Basically we're going to run that through and take this little screw and just screw it on the top. It's going to sit just inside down there. Put that on just like that, making sure to hold the back. And I'll take this bolt and just sort of hand feed it on there.
We just want it to hold this in place for now. We don't want to lock it down because we want to be able to adjust the height. Once you get the one, then you can not tighten it down all the way. Put the other bolt in, and then you can tighten those down. All right, so those are hand tightened. Now, probably move this cover out of the way. That'll make it easier. Just do it hand tight. You know, doesn't need to be anything crazy. Just hand tight is good enough. Because then you'll never get this bolt off. I mean, of course, you use a big breaker bar, but hand tight is plenty enough. It's not going anywhere. We'll put the belt back on, and then once it's on, we can adjust that bolt, and that will tension our belt. Okay, so I'm gonna need to, yeah, so it seems that the bolt is a little bit too low, so I'm going to loosen it, bring it up a bit, so that way I can get this belt on, and we'll pull the pulley up, and that should allow us to get this over the bolts, over the belt. Perfect. All right, so we got that one on the AC compressor. We've also got it down on the pulley, and I can get a good light at it. We've got it on the crank pulley. Now I'll just double check that all the grooves are in the right places, and then we can start tightening this down. Perfect, so the belt's all on the right spot, facing the right direction, and well, yeah, I'm not sure if the direction matters, but I just did so that the text is facing the right way. All right, so let's tighten this up. We'll just tighten that. Alright guys, so after much time trying to figure out how to tighten this, because it was getting unscrewed at the bottom there, and I think I worked out how far to screw it in. We've got the tension on there, so that's all sorted. Now it's time to put the alternator and power steering pump belts on. So I've loosened this. As you can see, the alternator is looser, so that will enable us to sort of guide this belt down at the bottom here. All right, so now I'll just go ahead and check, make sure that I've got all the grooves in the right spot, and then we will tighten up. Then we'll go ahead and tighten up this bolt and this one, and that'll pull the alternator back up. And just like that, who says you need power tools to do these kind of jobs? Especially when you have power editing. As you can see, I'm whipping this out in no time. Alright, so now we get both belts on. Looks like everything is solid. There's still a bit of a noise, but at least the AC pulley is now no longer making as much noise. Well, it's not making any noise. I think it's something else. Potentially my harmonic balancer. It looks sketched to me, but it could be just an optical illusion. Not entirely sure. because it looks like it's oscillating, but it could be just, I guess, dirt or surface rust that looks like it is moving. Well, I'm not entirely sure, but belts look like they're going on my good. Sounds heaps better, so I think it's definitely better than what it was. So let's go ahead and put the covers back on. That should help. Alright, so let's go ahead and put the covers back on. And then that should be it for today. Yeah. Look at that. Cool.
There is one last test I like to do, and that's why I brought out the multimeter. So I've connected it to the battery, and what I'm doing here is I'm turning on the car, running it with a few accessories, and just to see if the load that I give on the car, this includes, turning on the headlights, air conditioning, revving up the engine a bit, seeing how the battery and the alternator react to that, seeing if they maintain a stable voltage. That'll kind of give me some indication on whether the alternator itself is bad. Um, but from what I could see, all appears to be within normal range.
All right, well, we'll see if my mic works this time, but looks like it should be working. All right, well, that's it for this video, guys. Today we changed my accessory belt. Well, not the belt, we changed the pulley, figured out how to get the belts back on, and yeah, she's a lot quieter. Still a little bit of a sound coming from sort of the alternator area. Uh, I did a voltage test, and it seems that my battery's overcharged from the start, but it does stay stable when I use different accessories like air conditioning and head beams. So yeah, that'll be something I investigate further. And yeah, till next time, guys. Ciao.